Incredible greetings, incredible morning, incredible afternoon, incredible evening. Again, incredible greetings, depending on when you're watching this. If you're watching this in real time, incredible morning. Although we are about 8 minutes away from incredible afternoon here on the East Coast. All right, so that's what I was looking for over there. So I have that one, but I have to change this broadcast on my page to public because it automatically defaults to just friends. So let's change that to public. And then over here, let's go ahead and share this out. So share to a group. All right, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So that's all shared out. And let's go back over here to TikTok. All right, there we go. So, hello again, everyone. I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365 LLC. We are we are the parent company of a couple different things, right? We have a couple different things that fall under our umbrella as far as Silaholics Anonymous, which that's more so just my platform. And it's hard for me to let go of that name that I started almost 8 years ago now, where I started teaching you guys how to master Silhouette Studio and the Silhouette Cameo machines via live trainings and pre-recorded videos on YouTube and Facebook. And that has helped me grow this into the business that it is today, starting by giving that amazing free value on those platforms. So that is a little bit as far as like starting, right? And starting there, well, to be honest, the start for me was before I can even go and teach anything. The start was really understanding my craft and what it is that I did and mastering that to where I could share it with others. And then from there, I built a community of people who valued the information that I was presenting and how I presented it. So where, people subscribe, they like the videos, which made it to where I could be monetized. And then from there, my mission was to grow that and to just continue to grow the audience and to grow it as a business. So where I started to teach paid classes. And Lord have mercy. So I started to do more paid classes, was one of the first people to actually have a paid group. So much so I used to get a lot of hate back in the day about having a paid group, saying that it was against the terms and conditions and Facebook was meant to be free. And then now I really feel like I was a pioneer in that, because now Facebook has a platform and a program to where once you are very active and you have a good following, they offer you to have a pay, like it's a subscription. You can have subscribers. And what that does is give those is it subscribers? Yeah. They get exclusive access to you. So you have a group that you can create from that. You can put subscribers only. So if you do a live video, it only goes out to them. I tried it for a while. It wasn't for me. I liked the way that I was doing it. It just made it a lot easier for people to kind of find the information. But hey, Facebook even caught on. So I was like, to everyone that said this is against the terms, and Facebook wants you to pretty much do everything on their platform, and they're paying you to do things on their platform now. So I was definitely a pioneer in that, in creating communities and private communities that were paid communities on the Facebook app. That then turned just me showing constant value through free avenues and then my paid classes and just showing up each and every day, we have now scaled slightly. I mean, to me, it's scaled, but we're still scaling. We have some plans to really scale the business. I really still feel like sometimes I'm still in that growing stage, and I've scaled on some parts, but not the business as a whole. Like we still have some work to do. But in everything that I did before, it allowed me to scale it to where we have a physical product, which is our Honestly Speaking Sublimation ink and paper. And then also having like the heat tape and the chip resetters and things like that. So it went from me just from doing the business, like doing the crafts or doing the creative part of it, then teaching others to like freely and just instructing others to then teaching. And then now we have a physical product that pairs well with our teachings. So I am very familiar with what I call the 4 stages of business. Okay. And that is to start it. And when you're starting it, you're starting it with the goal of setting a really, really good and stable foundation. A building, a structure, a house, would not survive. Like it will crumble if the foundation is not strong. So then you want to build. And when you build, you want to build it with quality materials. You want, in other words, quality materials, knowledge, information. You want to do it. You want to build your business up in a way to where it's going to be sustainable and you know what you need to protect it and maintain it so that things don't erode and you end up crumbling anyway. All right. So we're going to, there's starting, then there is building, then you want to grow it. So you have to have something there to grow. When it comes to, like, you take it into like how you do plants, you have to plant it and you have to or it's called seeding, and then you have to water it and give it light and all these things, and then it can grow. So you have to start, you build, you grow, and then you scale. Now, how you scale and the level at which you scale to determines on what your actual goals are. For some people, where we are right now might be where they want to scale to. And then you're going to have others that have aspirations and dreams and things to go past that. Like for us, we want to be able to be in stores. I want to be able to have my academy be a full-on physical school. We want to be major distributors for the things that we recommend. So we teach sublimation. So eventually being a full-on distributor of sublimation blanks, or if it's just shirts, of course, our amazing ink and paper, but we want to be able to scale and to have our own flagship store and then other stores and franchise. Like I just wanted to, like, my dreams and our goals as a business is to scale as big as I can like imagine. And for me, I'm a Gemini. I'm a very creative person. My brain is always on overload. So I dream big. And I work hard to achieve those dreams. But in order to even get to those dreams, as far as where we want to scale it, it really took understanding each stage and not skipping any of those stages. Okay. So still going to go back to where Sillaholics Anonymous was really somewhere in between my start and build, depending on how I look at business, right? That Sillaholics Anonymous was the starting point of building to what is now 365 Creative Academy, which is pretty much all virtual, and we want to scale it to where it is physical. But Sillaholics Anonymous was also the building stage of my business in general, because the starting part was me just having a business where I was doing all of the custom and creative things, right? And then we have Honestly Speaking. So that's our product line. And then we have, of course, 365 Creative Academy. So that is just a little bit of who I am, what I do. So let's see. Let's go over here. I saw a couple people tapping in, saying good morning. So let me just kind of go through that real quick. Let's see. Good morning from Mobile. How are you? Thank you for tapping in and let me know where you are watching from. Go ahead and double tap that screen. All right. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I know that was a long introduction. Hello from Houston. How are you? Good morning. Grand rising to you as well. Hello, Miss Cheryl. Hey, Princess. Hey, just say. Incredible morning. Thank you for watching from Virginia. Incredible morning. Let's see. 8 years. You look 20 years old. Thank you. I will be 42 this year in May. Look at all these grades. Although you can't really say that because I've actually had some of these grades since I was about 20 and a half, somewhere in there, 21. I started going gray. So like my front is really, really salt and pepper. Hello, incredible morning. Hey, how you guys doing? Oh, thank you for letting me know who's watching. If you are in one of the groups, you have to click on the, like in the description, it will say, you have to give, bit my lip, StreamYard permission. So you have to click on that, go in there and just give them permission to show your name. If not, it'll just continue to say Facebook user. I'll see who it is once I actually go into the group. Oh, wow. You inspire us to be bigger and better. Ooh, that is, I don't know if that's pressure. Like, I mean, I like it. I thank you for that, but it's like, that's a lot of pressure, right? Hey. Let's see. Incredible morning. Well, actually, are we in afternoon? We are now in afternoon. So if you're on the East Coast, we're now in afternoon. So hello. Thank you guys for joining, watching from New York. All right. So got all of those out of the way. All right. So we are technically talking about business today. And I'm not going to get into that too much. I have a bunch of other videos. Now, if you follow me, you're more than welcome to come back. I probably will stay in the office and do a Q&A type deal for like general questions. But today we're talking about understanding like business. But I guess you can say like that is kind of a starter one. I am one where I'm not your cricket girl. It's a lot of people on this platform and like some of the other ones, like cricket is so popular, but I'm definitely not a cricket girl. If you can see behind me, there is one, don't mind the other stuff. Hold on, which way is it? There is one, although that's my least favorite one. I am a silhouette gal, hence the name Silhouaholics Anonymous, which is my first, I guess you could say, business, right? So I'm definitely a silhouette girl. I have 6 cameos. So I really could not advise you on or recommend a cricket machine because cricket just don't do nothing for me in that manner. So yeah, printer. It just really depends on what it is that you're trying to do because there's so many printers. As you can see, incredible boss moves. I am one where I pretty much deal in a lot of things ink, and there's so many different things that you can do. Are you wanting to use regular ink you say, okay, chip bags and party favorites. So yeah, that's regular ink. There's sublimation, there's regular ink, there's eco solvent, there's DTG, DTF, toner printers. It's a whole lot. So that type of question, more reserved for our general Q&As. So make sure that you do tap in, you follow, you also hit the bell and turn it to all. That way, when I go live, hopefully it will give you the notification. It's so many videos out there and I love your work. Thank you. And all of my work is done via Silhouette Studio and Silhouette Cameos and then different printers. So printer wise, right now I'm an Epson girl. I've used Brother, I've used Canon printers. Only printers I have not used that are inkjet printers are HPs. So, all right. But yes, I'm all about the ink though. Okay. So if you kind of miss the intro to this one, we are talking about the 4 stages of business. And you have to know which stage you are in order to create a plan to dominate that stage so that you can prepare yourself for the next stage. So 4 stages: start, build, grow, scale. without even like, I mean, if you're just joining, or even if you kind of heard me talk a little bit about like, how I transition through those stages, just by the name itself and where you all are in your entrepreneurship journey, where do you currently feel like you are at? In the starting stage, the building stage, the growing stage, or the scaling? Where do you guys feel like you are? And once I do a full breakdown, we're going to see if your selected stage has changed. So I'm going to give you guys time to get your answers in. Be engaged, guys. Don't just watch these videos just for the sake of watching them as if it is just a regular TV show and it's entertainment. I am really here to educate you guys and help you guys and give you knowledge, make you think outside the box so that it can help you. Because if you're sitting there and you're just like, oh, well, I want to give up, it's oversaturated, I can't do this, I'm not making any sales, it's probably because you don't know where you are, you don't know who you're marketing to, you don't know how to properly sell. You have this mindset of, I'm just going to make some stuff, I'm great at making it, I'm going to throw it on social media and people are going to buy it. And then the disappointment sets in because no one's buying, no one's liking, no one's engaging. So make sure that you guys are actually engaging. You do know that the more you give the apps, the more it gives back. So if you are on social media and you are engaging with others, it makes the algorithm also push out your content. But if you go and you just kind of scroll and look and you're not engaged, when you go to post things, you're going to reciprocate the same thing. Okay. So over here, we have a beginning. So someone else says in between beginning and growing. We have a build. All right. So let's see. Someone here says they're in starting. Thank you. She says not even started, but we'll get there when I'm ready. So I will say this. Most people think that starting a business starts when you have a website, you're putting on Etsy, you're advertising and marketing. But to be honest, Miss Cheryl, as much as you say that you're not in business, so as far as building your business, you are not there. But in all the classes that you have taken, in all of the improve, how you have grown in how you design and how you can look at things and recreate them, all of the knowledge that you have gained actually has you in that starting. Because I'm a firm believer in, if you are turning your passion into profit and you're monetizing your crafts, you can't do that if you have not mastered that craft. So contrary to what you think, you are actually in the starting stage. Now, whether you choose to move forward to the next stage of now building a business, you are actually in the starting stage. Starting and building. Okay, feel like you're somewhere in between the two. Okay. I'm on the growing stage. I'm in between startup and building. Okay, I'll come back to that. The stitching studio is scaling. Yes. I feel as though I'm in two stages. To be honest, you cannot be. You really cannot be. I know it's a couple people that says they're in between. It's going to be one or the other. Now, you can be making plans to move to that next stage, but in the process of moving to it, that means you're still in the stage before. That's just how I look at it, right? So we're on here, we're listening to the professor, getting some, as y'all like to say, gems and nuggets. I'm going to break it down as to why I say this, but for me, it's not being split. If you focus too much on the next stage, you're going to miss out a lot in the stage that you're in. You're going to skip over some things. There's going to be a lot of gaps in it. and it's going to make operating in that next stage so much harder. Ask me how I know. I'm telling you guys from personal experience. Building, growing, and scaling. Okay, we're not talking about that. So starting stage, starting and building, learning how to market better and stop buying every little thing I see. Growing with one, building another. I like that. I own a grooming business that I use my crafts, but I use my crafts as gifts for family and friends. What I teach, although my target audience and the majority of you guys follow me based off of the things that I talk about as far as business, and especially with the whole breaking down, starting, building, growing, scaling, can apply to any business. In my creative business program last year, we had someone that did candles. Event planners are kind of sort of still like in that space. But even for your grooming business, there are levels to that as well. The levels of business is not just for creative entrepreneurs. Every business has a starting point, a building point, a growing point, and a scaling point. Growing. You can't be starting and building. You got to be starting or you're building. You can't do both. You can't do both. All right. So over here, okay, we only have a few that have action. All right. Here's a couple of ways. Now, I don't have much time because I have a session at 1 p.m. If you guys don't know, it is the day of planning. So I do have an in-depth session. We're going to kind of dive into some of these points a little bit better, a little bit more, should I say, so that you guys can write down your ideas to help you develop a plan, okay? So I'm not going to be on too long. We're going to kind of breeze through these. This is a test for me to be able to stay on and get this done so that I can also take a breather before my session starts at 1 p.m. If you are someone who does not prioritize time for yourself and for your business, I highly encourage you to visit our website, shop.hsink365.com. Right under the thumbnails for the Sublimation collections is that class or this session, this live Zoom session for So What's the Plan? All right. And we're going to go through some things to help and some exercises to help you get clarity on where you are. I'm going to go over some strategies kind of broken down. Like it's not going to be, we can't be here forever. And there's a lot when it comes to like doing business. But I'm going to break down some strategies that can work for each stage, depending on where you are at. And then we are going to prioritize 30 minutes to write down ideas and or a plan of action for your business in general. If there's one part of your business, let's say that you have a good handle and you need like a good handle on like business, you know your craft, you're not just trying to learn how to sublimate. Like, hey, I have this down packed. I have great ideas, but how do I get customers? So maybe your plan for this year isn't necessarily starting or building your business. Like, well, it's not building your business, it's growing it to where you can reach more people. And if you are someone that wants to use social media, well, what's your plan of action for social media? What does your time look like? That is one of the main things that we're going to go over is how to be realistic about the time that you have to work on your business and work on these plans. How much time do you have to incorporate all these things and make a profit? How much profit can you realistically even make with the time that you have available? If you don't know these things and you're just kind of going at it blindly, you're going to find that you're going to be disappointed with your growth over the next year. Okay. So we are having a session at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You still have time to go ahead and join it. And just go to our website. You're going to have to, I would say, if you have never taken a class with me before, I highly recommend that you visit our Academy site and create a free account first. The reason for that is it might take a little time for that express sign-in link to come to your spam folder. So I highly recommend that you go to our Academy site first, 365 Creative Academy, create your free account, use the same email that you use over on our shop site so that once you purchase it, it will be in your dashboard, okay? Because I'm going from this straight to the session pretty much, so I won't be able to answer any emails. Hey, I can't get in. I won't be able to send you anything. So if you've never taken a class from me, visit the website 365 Creative Academy first, set up your free account, and then go over to the shop site so that you can purchase access to the session, okay? All right. She says, so then I would say I'm starting and moving forward towards building. She's like, I'm about to jump on purchasing the Zoom. See you there. Okay. All right. Let's break this down real quick. Okay. So starting, contrary to what most people believe, you do not start a business by posting things and saying, hey, it's for sale. You do not start a business by going out to get an LLC, your EIN, and worrying about business credit and this, that, and the third. That's not where starting a business, especially for creative entrepreneurs. There's going to be some people like even if you're a tech person, you don't just wake up in the morning like before you were a chef and said, hey, you know what? I want to change directions. I want to be in the tech business. Okay, let me go start a business in tech. If you have no experience in this, you're just going to be lost because you then have to start learning about tech. Is it programming? Is it coding? Is it, what area do you want to build this business in? Then you got to start to learn it, because how can you sell it? Some people are great talkers, but that can only get you so far. Some people are really great salespeople that can only get you so far. So starting is not where the money starts, right? Starting is actually understanding what it is that you do and what you want to market and sell. Because the majority of my audience are creative entrepreneurs, I'm going to keep it within context for this. If you're someone and you say, hey, I think someone over here, they asked a question about which printer is going to be best for doing chip bags, right? Okay, so if that's where you're wanting to, your idea is to build a business or to, and that's why I like to say build instead of start a business. You want to build a business based on doing custom party favors and things like that, right? So now you have to understand what it takes to do that. What type of paper is needed? As they ask, what type of printer? Do I even need a cutting machine in order to do this? Is it something that I can just do with paper and ink? Where do I get designs from? Your starting stage is where you should have those questions, and where a lot of those questions for how to actually do the things that you want to build that business with, how do you do it? If you're into sublimation, okay, well, what the heck is sublimation? What do I need for it? What can I sublimate? Do I need a machine in order to start this? Am I even going to like sublimation? Should I just be ordering transfers so that I can test this out? There's another key word, testing. Your starting is your testing phase. You'll start to go and build a business, say, okay, yep, I can do this, I can do that. And you have no idea how much time something takes. This is one of the number one reasons why you guys undercharge. You underprice your products or services because you have no idea how long it takes. You're looking at what some people in the craft community go and they'll say, take your materials times 3, times 5. No one ever talks about the time that it takes to make it and being compensated for that time, because time is something you can never get back. It is the most valuable thing in this whole process. So if you're going through and you're trying to figure out how much time, like how long it's going to take, like you don't even know how long it takes. Doing one, oh, yep, I did a chip bag. I printed it out. I made it. It's cute. Now what happens when you're working on that, you're growing and, you have several people say, yep, I want to order, I want to order. Have you thought about how many orders can you realistically handle in a 24-hour period, in a week's time, in a month's time? Because if you have other things going on, you have to know where your cutoff is. So have you ever, in the starting stages, in the testing stages, have you tested how long it will take to make one? If your goal is to not do singles and one-offs, how long does it really take me to wrap and press or wrap and heat 20 tumblers? How long does it take me to design? Am I ready for the design stage? Or in my starting stage, should I really just be focusing on how to make tumblers? Not how to design tumblers, but how to make them. For chip bags, should I be focused on how to design chip bags versus simply how to make them? Because in your starting stage, it might be where you have to buy files, have someone go in who can do it like in 5-10 minutes, 30 minutes at the most, and they can get you a file. You are able to print that out. You're able to make it, get all your supplies and stuff, and you're going to start there. Because if you barely have the time to make the products, how are you going to find time to learn? Because some of you guys don't even know about designing. You don't know how to properly use whatever software it is. Oh, what's the best software? You don't know how to use any of them. So at this point, learning any of them is going to be great for you. So it doesn't matter if it's Silhouette Studio, Affinity, Photoshop. Photoshop doesn't make it easier to learn. There's other features, and once you learn it, it can make certain design elements easier, but it's not that it's going to be just the easiest thing to do. So where do you fall in that? Starting is where you answer all of these questions. Starting is where you also get answers, because by the time we get to build, if you are somebody that does sublimation and you feel like in the building part of your business, that you're in the building part, yet you're still in groups asking questions like, oh my gosh, my ink stopped working. What do I do? And you don't innately know, like, okay, if it's not working, this is going to be my first step to do a nozzle check. And then I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. If you're still asking questions like, oh my gosh, why do my colors look like this? But you say that you're in the building stages of business. We should not be asking those questions. We should be helping those who are in the starting stage understand these, because by the time we're in building and we're working on customers, we can't go and say, oh, shoot, well, I don't know why it came out this way. Like this, how my printer prints, it's your file. Oh, that's the other thing. We're in the building, but we don't even understand files. And we're asking questions like, well, what's the difference between a PNG, a JPEG, and SVG? We're asking questions that is, this whole bottle, can someone turn this into an SVG for me? Because you think that SVG is going to be it's the pinnacle, it's the holy grail of file types, and it's going to make it to where everything is just great and nothing's going to be blurry. Not the case. We can't be in the process of building a business if we're still asking these questions. So now, with that, who thinks that they might still be a little bit in the starting stage? Good morning. How are you? Someone said me. Thank you for the honesty. Before this, did you feel like you were in the building, growing, or scaling stage? Okay. She says me. So now we're at starting. All right. So we have some people being very honest in maybe thinking about where they are. Hello, I am amazing. How are you? I am actually doing amazing. You want to sign up? Then click the link in the bio. It'll take I forgot to put it on my mom is going to kill me because I forgot to put it in my Linktree. But if you go straight to our website, shop.hsink365.com, you will see it under the main banner, and then you can join us today. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about building, right? We've developed we've not to say you don't have to master it where you know everything, because new technology will come out, new ways of doing things will come out, but you have a good grasp. You have a lot of great notes that you can refer to. And you have a good understanding of what you're going to do so that now you can focus on building a business, right? The building stage is things like when people say, what's your niche, right? In that starting stage is where you might be trying out different things. Rhinestones are cool. I've done them. I actually have a pair of Converse where I thought I was going to do all this bling stuff. Like Kimberly said, buying up everything. And I have, my niece, my sister had my niece, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make her, I'm creative, I'm crafty. I'm going to make her some bling Converse. I got through one shoe. That is not the life for me. I eventually I've eventually gotten to where I can do like some bling things, but it's going to be real small. Those full tumblers, not for me. And even if I do them, for me, it's going to be I love other crafters and stuff like that. For certain things, I probably will support your business, but this really is something that over time I can do it myself, and it might be therapeutic for me, and it's going to become a gift. But when y'all see it, don't ask me about making you one, because Captain, that ain't gonna happen type deal. Like I know how to do rhinestone things. I know the glue that I should use, this and the third. I've done a few, but will I ever build a business on it? Heck no. Not gonna happen, Captain. So in that starting stage is where you're going to start to eliminate things as well. Like, man, this is time consuming. And if I'm just starting out, I may not have the market who's going to want to pay for the amount of work that it takes to do this. Like as far as selling to the masses, if you're someone that is doing a very detailed tumbler and you're just starting out and no one knows who you are, it is going to be very hard to get someone to pay what the value of that is. So although it's great to make it, you may have to be okay with the fact that this is something that you enjoy doing, that it is actually a craft. And in crafting, you're not making money off of your crafts and your hobbies. So you can make them, and maybe once you start to build and make, or maybe you figure out something that you can do that is, and we're going to talk about that. I have this great Instagram page I want to show you guys as far as doing what you love, but having it on a scale that will get you like those lower end clients and then the things. So she has something that ranges from $25, and then she has a set that's $2,500. So it's a big range. It's all about your market, right? So your building is now narrowing down what some people like to call your niche. Who is your target audience? How are you going to sell to them? So when you say, okay, now I want to start this business, we're thinking about names and things, which really isn't as important as important as you think. You can have an idea, right, of the name that you want to go by. I find so many people, they're doing so many things, and then they start with these names, they start with these logos with all of this stuff in it, and then once they really get into it, it's like, well, dang, why your business name says Pink Flamingo Treats, but you doing shirts, tumblers, what are we doing? But your business says treats. So I'm going to come to you expecting to get treats, but I go on your social media, you haven't done a treat since 1981, and all I see are chip bags, candles, or tumblers and mugs and shirts. I see wreaths, I see game boards for kinky Jenga, kinky Uno. Oh, what a treats at, right? Because you had no idea. You skipped that starting stage to figure out what did you want this business to even be. You skipped that. So now you have a name that does not match the services that you are actually promoting, right? So building is really getting that, finding what, like fine tuning your niche, who your target audience is. You can be selling something, and let's say tumblers, right? You can sell tumblers. They might be ones that are very girly, and you don't want to make anything masculine. Even if you are a female that likes masculine things, baby, I'm not the one for you. Can I probably find it? Yes, but I don't want to confuse my audience. I'm going to make tumblers that are very girly, very glittery, sparkly. If that's not what you want, I suggest you go find one of them other people that is building a business that is all inclusive and they do some of everything. But for me, I'm going to stick to this. And I am marketing to someone. I want to sell this directly to my end customer, the end consumer. You might be someone where your business is based off of gifts. So now it's like, I want to go and market, and although it's for a female, right? I'm going to create content to where it's going to be like, ooh, I like that, babe. You got some of those people, they got their own money, but when they see something they really like, especially if it costs like a little bit of, cost a little bit of coins, babe, look. I ain't saying you got to buy it, but I kind of like it. I might want to, I might want it. Their website. Look, babe, like here, I'm seeing the screenshot of this person's website, and you're trying to, like, you're throwing hints, right? You might draw in the person to say this will be great for you, but you may not be marketing to them directly because yours is about gifts. Sometimes we gift ourselves, but it might be where your wording is about communicating with others. We have gifts that you can purchase from us that's going to blow the receiver's mind away. It's all about how you market. You can market things to children to make children go. So it's like, you're not doing it to go and say directly to the parents, hey, parents, I have this for your child. You're going to go and make certain content. You have to be careful, like on YouTube. You got to go, of course, where they're at as well, and create content that's going to speak to them. And then when they're seeing it, it's like, oh, like my son, mommy, we buy that, please. That's what Ziny Money does all the time. We buy this, please. We go touchdown. We go, what he said? We go car wash. We go McDonald's. If they don't have the McDonald's Happy Meal box, he's highly upset because he saw the commercial, he saw all this stuff, he saw the advertisement. So they are putting things at their level to where it's about them, for them to come to us sucker parents and say, please, with the cute face. That's marketing to that child, not to me, because I'm going to bypass the Happy Meal. Baby, I need a Big Mac. I don't even care what's on this Happy Meal. I need a regular full, value meal. I'm not checking for a Happy Meal. But they're going to market to that child so that child can go to the person with the money and say, okay, you understand? So building is really narrowing down who you're speaking to and identifying who that is so that you can work on your marketing. You can work on your branding. Once you know who you're marketing to, then you'll know things about like colors, the way the fonts are. If you're marketing and it's something for kids and you want them to recognize it, you don't want something, maybe you don't want a logo that's in script that a child can't even read to even say, hey, this is what I want, because they're not going to understand it. It's all of these things that in the building stage, you're now thinking about those things about business. This is how you build a business, identifying who you're selling to, exactly what it is that you want to start selling. You can grow to add other things, but what's going to be that thing that you start with to even understand who your market is, right? If you go and you throw out a bunch of different things, you may have one person here, one person there, a few people here, and collectively you may have made some money, but in doing all these different things, you keep buying all these supplies that's building up, and you're pulling one from here, one from there. But overall, you've spent out way more money than you're bringing in because you don't have a signature product to where it's the thing that everyone knows you for. That if everything else went away, you know that you can sell that one product. That's what we are developing. That is what we are figuring out in the building stage. All right. So now, who feels like, all right, I just might be in the building stage. I'm past that. I'm now trying to figure out marketing. And if you are, sprinkling in, testing the waters, selling things, some people will tell you in order to have a business, you have to have a full-on website. You have to have automation. but you don't even know if you're built for this, right? So it's like, in this stage, let me figure out a very professional way to take orders, how to communicate. If I'm not at a website stage yet, but I have an effective way to keep track of my orders, that's not just a notebook. Maybe I have to figure out some type of system. What is the process? How do I communicate with them? Once they do show some interest, do I have my elevator pitch? Do I have my closing to make sure that they go and they actually make the purchase with me? These are all in that building stage. So how many people are in building? I got to go. I'm gonna check your website. I'm still going to say beginner, even though I've been using my Cameo for 4 to 5 years. All right. So let's see. The rhinestone, that's me. I have rhinestone cups I started 2 years ago for myself. 3/4 of the way done, haven't finished. Love the way you broke down that marketing info. That's me building. I am building. Okay. So we have a lot of people that says they are, okay, now we're getting somewhere. We're in the building stage, right? Growing. Now, this is where, also, let me back up a little bit. Building is also where you're going to do research on LLCs, trademark, incorporating your business, because an LLC, depending on what your business is, may not be the entity that you actually need. So you don't have to pull the trigger on it, but that's where you're going to find out things about, like, what does it take to get a business account? It's going to be where you start to educate yourself on tax laws and business taxes. We shouldn't really be talking about business credit at this point, or even thinking about it at this point. But it's like, if you have something, maybe at this point you kind of, okay, now I've narrowed it down. I have my logo. I want to trademark it. I have something signature I want to trademark. This is where you can start to do that research. Do you have to implement it? No, but you are getting a full understanding in this stage about all of these things. You're taking notes. If you have to take a class on it, yes, you're going to pay that money out. You might be investing and putting money out for a lot of knowledge and information in this building stage. You may not go and pull the trigger and get an LLC right then and there. But now you're going to understand. You're going to understand how you should be classified with the IRS. You're going to understand about, like, again, how to file your taxes, about marketing. You're going to start to research. Well, I think because in growing, we're going to move to like that website. What kind of website do I need? Do I really need an e-commerce website? Am I ready for that? Because you do understand with the e-commerce website, people can order any time of day. It's not like when you have a storefront and you have opening and closing hours, and it's like, okay, you come in and you can buy during this time and I can manage it. When you have a website, especially an e-commerce website, people can order all day long, all through the night. So what happens if you wake up in the morning and on your lovely web, you spent all this time building this website? It looks absolutely amazing. But because we skipped step 1 and step 2, you're in the growing stage and someone goes and they're like, I need 50 shirts. Because you, in the building stage, you did not identify at this juncture, right, of your business. Because we can go back to the building stage, when you kind of maybe transition and add certain things, right? So because you didn't identify the fact that you want to deal with maybe onesies and twosies, you want to deal with small groups, your maximum number of shirts that you will do is 12, it's 15, it's 30. What happens when, because you have it on your website, oh, I can do custom shirts. Somebody has a family, you're advertising family reunion, that can be a lot of shirts, or and they come and they go on your website and they put in, I need 50 shirts. In that building stage, even though you may not use it, did you research things like transfers so that you don't have to cut out vinyl? Did you research things like sublimation, or do you have a list of vendors? if I, by the off chance, I get this super, super large order, I know that I don't have the equipment to handle it, but I can outsource it. And I still know around about how much profit I'm going to make. That building stage is also writing down resources, vendors for the things that you cannot handle yourself. So you're worried about growing and you're worried about a website, but you get that order for 50 tumblers. Well, shoot, where am I going to order 50 tumblers for? How do I maximize my profit in this? I got 50 tumblers. I got to pay $8 per tumbler. And then it's like all this work, because now that's overtime. Y'all don't know if y'all know this or not. It's one thing to do one tumbler, but when you have one person that wants a bunch of tumblers, you do understand you're working overtime for that one person. Have you figured out your turnaround time in your building stage? You know exactly how much, like I said, well, actually, it kind of starts in starting, but in building, now that we kind of have a couple of customers, we've had some people that order some stuff, we kind of know time frames, we have a turnaround time. We need all that before we get to growing. Now the growing part is, I know what I want to do. I want to make sure that I am very secured in what I do. Like I want to protect things. So now let me go ahead and make sure that I have trademarked certain things. I now understand that if I get an LLC, I do have to pay this every single year. It's not a, hey, I'm an LLC. The government want their money. Okay. If nobody ever told you an LLC is not a one-time payment, you must pay them at a certain time every single year. Okay. I'm not sure if anyone ever told you all this. Oh, get your research certificate so that you can get stuff tax free. You can go there. It's great to be able to have access to places that only deal with businesses, because they're going to expect that you're not going to come in and buy onesies and twosies. You have a business. Therefore, you need bulk items. So in order to be a part of this exclusive membership, to get these at a great price that you can profit, you have to be a business. But I don't know if anyone ever told you this, but it ain't really tax free, because at the end of the quarter or at the end of the month, depending on which state that you are in, they're going to require you to go and put in how much taxes you collected. You know how some of y'all like to say, oh, plus tax, but you're not really paying the tax to your state. Yeah, at some point, when you do that, once you have that, you become a licensed tax agent for your state. They all in your business now. So even if you trying to say like, oh, you take collecting tax, you ain't paying them because you are now registered, they're going to say, you say you got to work in business. That means your business should be making some money. That means you owe us some money. And if you're not going to tell us how much you owe us, we're going to make up a number that's going to freak the hell out of you, because we're going to send you a bill for about $2,500, $5,000, because if you say that you selling shirts is one of the biggest industries there is, so you should be making money. So you might feel like, well, damn, I didn't make no money. We don't know that, because all the other t-shirt people around here are giving us $2,000 in taxes by the time they buy these shirts. So we assume you do too, because you're just trying to buck the system. You just wanted a tax ID number so you can get some ish without paying taxes on it. Well, there's some risk with that. So before we jump into this, making sure that in the building stage, we understand all of this. When do you have to file your taxes? You should know that from the building stage before you go to growing, right? And growing is where, like I said, we can now pull the trigger on these different things, like setting up our actual official entities, setting ourselves up to where we know we're going to be in business. We know that we're going to have to order these supplies. So we want to be able to get those on not necessarily credit, but maybe so we don't have to pay for it right then, because sometimes we don't get the money for a job. You might not have all the money, but you know that you need, like right now, I'm not sure if y'all saw my post, I have to order some foam boards, right? So it's like, okay, I can order these foam boards and get them. This particular company has a net 30. I know that I'm going to be done with this in that time frame. I'll be able to finish the job, get paid by my client. So when that 25th day comes, not day 30, you're damn near late. Okay, well, you are late. When that 25th day comes, I can pay that off, because I knew how much time it was going to be for me to make the money off of this. So that's not, it's business credit, but not how like some of y'all think business credit, buy me a house, buy me a car type situation. So it's like understanding all of these things now, like where you're going to order from, what's going to help you build that business credit up to where you have your business credit score so you can get certain things. We're going to, set up an official website. It may not be in e-commerce. Maybe when you were in the building stages, you liked how you interact with your customers. You don't want a business where it's just you don't have a connection with them. Some people don't care. You are a customer number to them, and that's all they know. They don't know your name. Maybe in the business that you want to create and you want to build and grow, you at this stage want to be personable with them. So although I want it to be to where people can find out and know how to contact me, I'm not quite ready for a full-on e-commerce website where you can go in and just place an order and I'm not prepared for it, right? So you may have a website that's just a website. You don't have to have a Shopify or a Wix. You can have a one-page website that just outlines who you are as a business, who you are, what services you provide, who's your target audience. We deal with smaller businesses, smaller quantities at an affordable price. Like you can use terminology like that to where you don't get someone that says, because you just put out there, you're a print shop. Okay, well, I need this 30-foot backdrop and all this way. You said you're a print shop. You didn't specify you have all this stuff. Just, okay, I didn't check out and not going to go through 5 pages of your Instagram to see that all of your print jobs were all small. Like I need you to communicate that with me before I waste your time and mine. So you might have a website that just outlines what it is that you do. In this stage, you may have had your Instagram look completely crazy. This is one of the parts where I'm at. Like I have to take a step back, right? Because we're restarting our print business. So you may want to have your Instagram be a portfolio, because on your website, on a business card, on a flyer, you're not going to be able to show everything that you have done. So now you want that nice, well put together Instagram. Even if you don't get a lot of likes, you may not go viral on Instagram, and it's not meant for you to be an influencer to go viral. What your Instagram or your social media, what your Facebook, your YouTube will end up being is a portfolio. So, hey, you're coming to find out about us. You want to see more of what we have done in the past. Check out our Instagram. They can scroll through. Oh, okay, I like this. They've done this. So now they have a better idea. Your Instagram don't have to be where you make sales from. It can simply be a portfolio. So that's where we're growing and figuring out systems. We're going to figure out like email, marketing, all those things. We're going to fine tune those in the growing stage. Now let's scale. Scale can take on a couple different things depending on what you want to do. Scale is where you're really taking your business to the next level. If before you only dealt with mom and pop, small things, you only dealt with end users, moms, dads, grandmothers, kids, things like that. Now it's like, okay, I like y'all and all, but I ain't got time for these onesies and twosies. Even though I might deal with, like, let's say a bride. Before I was doing something for one bride. Now it's, you can't come to me unless I'm making tumblers for your entire bridal party. You can't come to me unless I'm making customizing rolls for your entire bridal party. Like you want to work in groups. Like you want multi-unit orders. You can't, now I'm moving away from consumer, and I want to be able to do stickers for small businesses. So maybe that's your first step of scaling. And then it's like, okay, now I have all these equipment and I'm adding equipment and stuff like that. And now I'm going to do bigger businesses and I can really, really grow. Your scaling part it's like an octopus. Now that one can have so many different directions that it can go in. It just depends on how you want to scale. But from your start to your grow, you're going to have a better idea of which piece of that pie. So I want to focus on this part of scaling this part. I want to then I have a grasp on this. I made certain connections. I've networked. I want to focus on this, right? So scaling, a little bit more intensive. But as far as growing, who is truly ready for growth? Meaning you're ready for your website. You're ready for your LLC. You're ready for trademarking. You're ready for social media. You're ready for to go viral. Like who's ready for that? Who feels like they are in the growing stage? Building. I didn't think of it that way. Great info. Incredible afternoon. Oh, it's almost time for class. Or if your printer, exactly. You can't be in the growing stage. And if your printer goes out, you're panicking because you don't know what to do. You haven't made any networking with somebody else. Say, hey, my printer's out. I need to be able to get this job done. Or just knowing if it's not a fellow small business owner, knowing which major company you can go to get them printed out so that your customer is none the wiser that your printer went out. That's actually a very, very good point, Jessica. All right. Who is in the growing stage? Who is in the growing stage? I'm hoping that some of you guys are afraid to leave the live video. I need you to pull out that other device and go ahead and sign up for this class because we're going to start at around like 1:10. It's always a 10-minute grace period. So I'm going to end this in a few moments, but you'll have time to get in there. Remember, if you've never taken a class with me, the link for this is on our 365 Creative Academy account. You may want to go create the account first. That way, as soon as you pay for it, it's on your dashboard, because if not, you have to wait for the express sign-in email. So she says, nope, she said growing pains. No. Well, I thought I was, but I'm guessing not now. You can be in advanced building, right? Building is a lot of things. When we think about when something is built, right? A house, even I'm in Miami, we have a lot of high rises. You can be at the finishing stages of building to where you are now working to getting into that growing stage. Building doesn't always mean that you're still at foundation level. Part of your business can be, making sure the plans, what's the blueprint? You have your blueprint. What's the best way to make sure this is a sound structure? Is it building, do you build well, you still have to, but it's like, when they're doing it, it's like you're building out the outside. For some people, when did their roof go on? The walls, and planning all that stuff out. So it's not just hey, I have this idea, I want to build a house. Boom, it's there. You have to actually build it. And you can be at a point to where it's like, I'm almost there. Like I can do a little bit of both. Like, okay, I'm at the finish line of the building stage. Now someone's going to live in this house. Their kids are going to grow up in this house. We're ready to sell this house. Are you ready to sell your business? Meaning market it and really watch it grow and flourish. So you can be at the top. So you may not be like complete. You don't have to be at the very beginning of building. You're like, okay, I'm at the end of building. Okay, I think I'm ready. Like, give me. I want to say a couple mango seasons, but I think I can now properly plan out to where I'm going to confidently be in that growing stage. And we set a plan. How much time are you giving yourself? If you feel like I'm at the end of building, I am on the verge of now focusing and living and operating within my growth stage, what's the time frame to move from build to grow, and then from grow to scale? Intentionally trying to move from crafter and gifter to selling and making a profit. So you are still in the start stage. You are in the start stage, and you just need the tools and the resources to learn how to go from starting to building. Join me today. I look forward to seeing you in class in the session today, because we're going to talk about in detail some of those things that's going to take you from start to build. She says, let me register for this Zoom. All right, there. If you feel like you're in the building and growing stage, just make sure that you don't move too far within what you need for growing to where you now forget about some of the small things and the little details in the building stage. If you're transitioning, I'm just telling you, be mindful of that, because if you start to focus too much on the growing part of it, while all of those finishing touches are going to be done, I'm going to put this in terms of a house. you're going to miss those things as far as like when inspections come and they come to do this inspection and they're like, okay, well, we still have to do this and this. You thought you were ready to sign on the dotted line. We're going to close. We're going to be finished. We're about to sell this house and you missed some things. So just be very like, give as much time to what you're doing as far as growing and don't go too far before you have completed that build. Someone can't buy that house. Someone can't move into that house. If you were the person that purchased the land and you pay for the build and you're going to move into that house, you would not want to move your family into that house not knowing if everything was solid. You don't want to go in there and it's like, okay, they left off a couple of bolts trying to hurry up and rush it because, yo, we got to have this done by this day. And they've rushed something and a fan comes falling down on your head in the middle of the night. So we don't want to do that. So make sure that you have a good, like you're done with that building stage before you get too deep in the growing stage. Because when you build a house, you're all excited for it. You're already preparing to move in, right? We're going to buy furniture. We know what pots and pans. We want to bring our old pots and pans from the old house. Nope, I want all new ones. So even, in building a house or moving into a new house, you're going to have things that you're going to be doing in preparation for it. But you're not going to go and get like the mother load. Once you're in that house, like, okay, let's take a look around. I still need this. I need this. Okay, well, man, why did I have them put that there? Let's see if I can move this. Oh, man, I want to use this room for this. There's not enough lighting. I now have to figure out what can I do for lighting. And as you're growing, it's like, oh, I don't knowing about storage. So even once you get in your house, you're taking an assessment of what's there and if any changes need to be made. It's going to be the same thing for your business. She says, signed up. I'm ready. Let's get it. Yes, that's my yo, let's get it. That's my phrase for this quarter as well. Building but stuck. I got your class and emailed you. I wonder if you saw it. I have not checked my emails. I normally don't really check emails like that on Saturday, so I have not seen that yet. Makes sense. Thank you. All right. So I have 2 minutes until my session starts. I was trying to actually get off of here so I can take a breather. I got to get some water because there's a lot of talking. If you have not done so, go ahead, visit the website, sign up for the session. You got time now. We will get into the nitty gritty of it. We're going to start talking about these things and breaking them down at about 1:10. I kind of give like a 10-minute grace period. The room will be open at 1. We'll shoot the breeze and stuff like that. But we're going to get started at 1:10. Okay. So it's not, once you sign up for the class, it is, I'm going to tell you right now, like make sure that I didn't miss something, but it's not on my page. As far as getting into the Zoom, let me go to share screen. Let me go over here to my course and make sure that the Zoom link is not still in draft because I'll forget that sometimes. Nope, it's there. And then let's see, have we started joining yet? Actually, let's go in here. Let's start the meeting. All right, and let me go back over here to share screen. So on the website, it's right here to sign up for it. Once you sign up there, it is going to take you over to your dashboard on our Academy site. It will be in your dashboard. Once you click on that, it'll say start course. You're going to click on that, and that's where the link for the Zoom will be. So it's right here. All you have to do is just go to our website, and it's right under the main thumbnails. So what's the plan? You're kind of lost on where you want to be in business or all the stuff that I said. Okay, what the heck is going on here? Uh-oh, what's going on with my Zoom? Ah, there we go. I was like, what's going on with my Zoom? All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here, off of here so that I can get a drink because now my mouth is kind of dry, and I will see all of you guys in the session. So you still have time to go to the website. There you go. You guys are starting to come in. Go to the website, sign up. So now I know that the link does work and the Zoom link works. So definitely go over to the website, shop.hsink365.com. This is a clarity and strategy planning session. Okay. Will it answer all of your questions? No, but you're going to have a good foundation on where to start. You're going to prioritize. We're going to take 30 minutes, and you have to do it. 30 minutes to where even if it's not a full-on plan, but you're going to write down the ideas. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to break down ideas for social media, ideas for your business, as far as like websites. First part of it is going to help you guys identify how much time you really have, let you guys think about like what is your profit power? Like how much profit can you realistically make, like with the time that you have, the resources that you have? So it's going to be a lot encompassed in this. And this is part one. I already know that this is going to be something that we're going to end up doing ongoing. I'm not a coach. That and what you guys think a coach should be, it's not necessarily coaching, but I am going to be here to help guide you and give you strategies and tips so that you can create your own blueprint. I don't want you to build you know how you go into some neighborhoods and like all the houses look the same. I actually avoid those. Like I kind of like it to, like our neighborhood, we see bits and pieces of whatever architecture built our house. And it's like maybe a house down the street, around the corner, and they built them on different lots. But we don't have a block where all the houses look the same. We don't want to all have the same blueprint. You want to have your own. And then with each of these homes, they have different colors outside, different landscaping. You want to create the business that you want and not directly off of somebody else's. You can learn from it, but you should really be building your own. And that's what these sessions are going to help you do. All right. So I will see you guys going over there, and also going to go get you something to drink. Visit the website, shop.hsink365.com, and I shall talk to you guys later. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.